Hello, I am Endlessness and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. And there are some very big things happening in Final Fantasy VII and also are coming to Ever Crisis. Yesterday we had State of Play, which was fully dedicated to FF7 Rebirth, but also we have gotten FF7 Rebirth demo on PlayStation 5, which, by the way, is mind-blowingly good. And now I'm convinced that Rebirth will be game of the generation for me. However, we are getting FF7 Rebirth Crossover event very soon. Next week, February 15th, 6 PM. I'll go over it in a moment. However, those two notices are more important right now because we are getting a new chapter in the First Soldier storyline, chapter 6, tomorrow, February 8th, 6 PM. And I am very looking forward to this because, like I already said, I've been waiting for 4 months to see what happens next in the story. I am very invested, so I'm happy to see it. We finally are getting it. However, 2 new dungeons, the very hard ones, so time limited, La Pena Coast, so one of the early game dungeons, and Gracia Path, so a completely new dungeon, and from the thumbnail it looks great. I'm looking forward to see it, but it kind of looks like it might be on that island that Rosen Boy is on, but we'll see what happens. However, this one is interesting. Gracia Path and La Pena Coast will be available until March 20th. That's a lot of time. Normally these would be available for a month, so about 4 weeks. However, this one, it will be 6 weeks, so I'm guessing it might be because Rebirth, that they want to give players time to play both games. However, it also means that most likely March 21st we'll get a new story chapter for Crisis Core. However, we will be also getting dungeon ranking events also tomorrow, February 8th, 6 PM, so we are getting both new chapter and dungeon ranking event. And this one will run from February 8th till February 15th. But also we already know the details. It'll be fire and lightning, but normally, usually at least, on dungeon ranking events we had one element that was most effective element in a dungeon, and the second one was just secondary. But here, fire and lightning elements are effective. It kind of points to them both being equally effective and required for the dungeon, but we'll see soon enough. However, initially I thought we will get another event that would require us to use stamina, so we have 2 events running simultaneously. However, now, since they are giving us the Rebirth crossover much sooner than expected, that's why we are getting a new chapter to keep us occupied. However, new chapter, it means level 75 cup increase coming very soon, so you might appreciate your saved up stamina tonics. So let's go over this Rebirth crossover. February 15th it begins, and I am guessing it will take place for about a month, just like the FF9 crossover did. And in this crossover event, experience the story of Sephiroth and Cloud as they begin their investigation of the Nebula reactor. And that is very interesting because Sephiroth is a crucial character in this part of the story, and we don't have adult Sephiroth in the game as playable unit. However, I read in the Diamine that they shared recently that there was something about guest characters, so I am very curious if there's a chance we could get adult Sephiroth as guest character for this particular event. That would be amazing, but also cruel because I want him as permanent character. I want Sephiroth adult one. But also this is the Materia Guardian boss, and it seems like it will be the event boss. And also crossover event, it means limited weapons and gear available only during that event, so you have to pull on those banners because later you won't be able to for another year until that crossover event returns. And I have very mixed feelings about this event. Very mixed feelings because I am not a big fan of those crossover events because of how limited, exclusive, and predatory they are. You know, they induce FOMO, so you have to pull or you will miss out, and you don't know if it will ever return. So if you have ever a chance in the future to get those weapons. So I don't know. It wasn't so bad with FF9. I wouldn't have minded it, but Rebirth, out of all crossovers, Rebirth is FF7. Ever Crisis is also FF7, so it doesn't make sense. Are you making a crossover with yourself? Which is very weird. Because normally a crossover is something, a collab with a completely separate, different universe, and not with yourself. But I guess I know why they did that. They did crossover just to give us limited weapons and gear, you know, FOMO. And why? Why? We should be celebrating Rebirth. I care so much about Rebirth, and I want all of us to celebrate the release of this game, because it will be amazing. So the game like Rebirth doesn't come out every year, even every couple of years. It's like a once in a lifetime how good it will be. And this, it feels like everything but Rebirth celebration. So, but yeah, we'll see. I'm still excited. I'm guessing for the banners we'll definitely get a Cloud banner with that first soldier class uniform that Zack wore. And for weapons, I have no idea, because it's still FF7, so what? Maybe we'll get the original Crisis Core Buster Sword design that had that intricate gold brass hilt instead of that plain one. Tifa cowgirl costume from the Nibelheim flashback. Aerith, I have no idea what they can do with Aerith. However, maybe we could get Barret and Nanaki. And we just seen Sailor Barret and Shinra Infantryman Nanaki, and they looked so good in Rebirth. So maybe they could give us those. Actually, getting a Barret banner that has also a costume, that would be insane. But yeah, that should be it for now. So, new chapter tomorrow, also new dungeon ranking tomorrow, and Rebirth crossover event next week. So better save up your crystals, because, you know, crossover events, it's very FOMO, very predatory, very limited, so it's up to you. We'll see. I am very excited, but mainly because of Rebirth, so yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next one.